Hey, let's talk a little bit about pay-per-click. We're going to mainly focus on Google, as that's kind of the main players for most people. I mean, because let's face it, if you really have a lot of specifics you want to go to, you're going to do more digging, or you already have an AdWords account, in which this would probably still apply for you. Um, okay, so again, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Google AdWords. And the reason we're going to, again, use that is they're kind of the #1 provider. But before I get too far into Google AdWords, we're also going to talk about Amazon. Why? If you're selling products, individual products that you have a catalog for, Amazon is the #1 shopping search engine. Shopping. And that's a huge thing. Most people, when they're shopping for an item, right now, #1 in the world, they will go to Amazon and search for that product to look at their vast product catalog to start getting pricing. Because let's face it, Google's shopping catalog, and when you search, is not impressive by any stretch. I mean, if you're looking for content, because you want to find websites that have catalogs of products, perfect. But tons of people are going to Amazon. So if you're selling products and you want to boost revenue, I would take a look at Amazon's partner program. There's people who sell Amazon products on their site. I mean, and that's a big reason. You can go to, if I wanted to look for, oh, let's say I'm looking for the newest book, probably about vampires, bestseller, and I want to find it, I can go searching on sites, so I'll go here. I'm looking for book, bestseller. And so I get all these, search results, page 1. I click it. Oh, guess what? It's a site that has a bunch of Amazon products on it. Hey, this one. Oh, it's a movie that's going to be released about that book. Oh, this is a Twitter post about that book. Oh, here's a review about that book. And you're still not finding the book. The closest you got to here is an Amazon link. And you clicked it and you go to Amazon. That's why so many people are starting with Amazon when they're searching for products, because they get tired of all the different other places that have nothing to do with the product being sold. So I'm just, when it comes to putting money into advertising, Amazon takes a commission. eBay takes a commission. But if you have a product that you're selling and you can ship it, I mean, obviously if you're local, it might be a little different. You might want to look into shipping, broaden your customer base there if it's not too expensive, takes you at a price point, whatnot. But Amazon's the #1 shopping engine, so if you're selling products, I highly recommend looking at it. And trust me, I don't work for Amazon. I just really like to see people get their money's worth when it comes to putting it into advertising, and I really like to have people know what's going on. I actually deal with people all the time that, CEOs even, that have not a clue. They've learned to look at certain key metrics as told by articles and other CEO buddies of theirs. They have no clue how it works, but they'll ask, why is this, why is that, because it's outside of industry standard and blah, blah, blah. And, that's great. But every industry, every company should be it themselves. And if that's the case, metrics mean very little other than if you're wasting all your money. But with that said, AdWords, or money spent for pay-per-click is not only for revenue. And I know you're sitting there going like, huh? The display network. Display network is honestly one of the biggest wastes of money for most companies. There are some that have great success with the display network on Google, but most don't. Most see millions of impressions with 1,000+ clicks or so, no revenue. Because display network pretty much means, someone's on a web page and your ad is right here, and they're not here for your ad, they're here for all this. And the chances of this truly matching this over here, not all that hot. So display network is not the best area to generate revenue, but it is an awesome area to generate brand awareness. This to me, for your money, is a brand awareness thing. And I know a lot of places don't have as many banner options as text, but if I'm doing this for brand awareness, I'm doing banners. You know why? They're more visible. This little tiny text next to a bunch more text and probably a picture that's more entertaining doesn't get the exposure. Search, sure, because it's all text. But when it comes to display network, it's display. Display something. And here's a little hint. Make this entertaining. And when I mean entertaining, I don't mean, well, you could do the, what company is that? It's a t-shirt company. It's usually some girl with trying to look all sexy with an overly tight t-shirt on. You see those all the time. That's not what I mean. What I mean is most websites are white, maybe black. So don't make your banner either color. Make it yellow or green or blue or orange. Something, that stands out. Make it stand out. Okay, see all this white and this blue? Let's do a little test here. I'm gonna, let's see, give me half a second. Does that yellow stand out? Yes, it does. So if you're looking at white with blue or black text, something yellow with your text in a high contrast, in this case you'd use black, but in a high contrast is effective. Putting a white, trying to make it look borderless and melt it into the page, who does that benefit? It helps the website showing it, but that's not helping you get awareness. Make sure you have a brand. Build a brand. I'm sure I'll have a tutorial on brand awareness at some point. Take a look. If I don't, send me a request. You can always go to put a note, ask for more, or go to cyphermarketing.com, go to contact us. Send me a request. If you give me something I can use of yours, I'll use yours. Again, I'm not going to do free multi-thousand-dollar projects for free on a 5, 10, 20-minute tutorial, but I'll be happy to, make a little tiny micro project out of it and, use your content. It'll help you directly. Maybe it'll help others see something real world other than me drawing here on a whiteboard. But, display network, make it stand out, make it pop, get awareness. I mean, that's also where you're going to get your click-through rates. If someone sees it and it's actually, you've done your targeting right, you might get some clicks. You still might not get the conversion you're seeking, but at least you'll get some clicks, and that's pretty important too, right? So, that's the other thing with doing display network is, oops, got to change away from that yellow. Get me back to my blue here. So, target. Very important. Whether it be by region, so can I draw the US? Kinda. Alright, so whether you're talking the whole US, whether you're talking just Texas here, California, I'll mention Oregon since where I'm at, Washington up above, Florida, whatever region, if you're talking by the whole, or maybe you're just talking, maybe you're talking Portland, Oregon, a little dot there at the top. Make sure you're specific. If you're a local company, by all means, make it regional, because otherwise you're really throwing money out the window. The other part is, if you're a salon, chances are that your base of clientele is mostly female. But wait, do your research, because, well, Men buy gifts. So, make sure you do your research. Maybe you'll have ads targeted to men buying for females, or maybe you'll target just to women directly on the product. Men are getting more in touch with themselves these days and doing pedicures and manicures. Maybe you are gonna do special ads for men in pedicures or men in shampoo, whatever the case may be. Do your homework. There's also targeting based on interest. So if they're on a site about gardening, do you want your ad to appear? Yes or no? Well, if I'm selling salon supplies, maybe a manicure because you've just ruined your nails. But most likely I'm probably going to go to the no. But if I'm selling, landscaping services, yeah, I want my ad there. Absolutely. It's gardening. People get tired of bending over or on their knees all day, digging into dirt. Yeah, they want some assistance. You run an ad there. It's things like that. So display network, you might get some clicks, you might get some revenue. If you target well enough and you really know your audience, it's a lot of work, but if you can get it dialed in, yeah, it can be highly effective. Otherwise, if you want to do broad scope display for brand awareness, hey, by all means, but look at it as billboard advertising, where it's going to be hard to really see any real revenue and truly hard to really track. I mean, yes, you have your view through, but you don't really know if they paid attention to your ad. I will say this though, warning, don't make it annoying. And what I mean by that is, don't be on everything so much that by the time people buy from you, either one, they don't want to because you've annoyed them with ads, or two, they assume they're paying what they're paying because they have to cover all your advertising. I can think of many places that I go and search where I see the same ads all day long, and all I think is, you must waste tens of thousands of dollars a month on these ads, because people click them. You throw them up a couple million times a month, people are going to click them. You're not going to build any, most likely you're not generating revenue. In all honesty, I'll click them every now and then just because I know it costs them money and I'm tired of looking at it. I'm hoping it costs them enough till they won't do it everywhere under the sun. So, my pet peeve, probably not yours. That's the way I am. So anyway, just target, do your homework, really customize so you can try to get the most out of it. But, if nothing else, look at it as brand awareness. So just set a budget aside to where if it doesn't convert, you don't care. You just know it's out there, kind of like little mini billboards on the web. That's why I also recommend banner ads. Okay, now to the main topic, search. And let's see if I can fit both of these on the same page here. They're different sections, but really for the same purpose. No, I'm gonna hide one of these for now. Okay, so now we're getting to the search, text ads, which is mainly what I work on. So again, because we see real conversions from these, so absolutely we're going to spend time and money. So let's first go over, if you're unaware, character limits, char limits. Line 1, 25. Description 1, description 2, display URL, 35 characters. That includes spaces, so be careful. And destination URL, I honestly don't know. I've never gotten close to maxing it out. So I'm sure it's quite long and it's not really worth looking up. It's probably 255 characters or more. So let's just put it this way. They want you to put wherever you need to, so they don't cap this one very much. But because 25, 35, 35, 35, if I said that right, is not the easiest to meet. I recommend using a spreadsheet with the len function and then the cell of your previous cell there, so it'll count characters. So it'll spit out characters when you hit equals. Double check which one, but that should be, if I remember right, it's either len, actually it might be equals len. Sorry, do my stuff right here. So equals len, and then your brackets with the like A1 or whatever it is. And I would do this for each one of these lines. I would do the destination URL only because it becomes a cut and paste thing. And well, I ran out of room, so we'll put this one over here. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3. Oh, so okay, horrible in description, but you get the point. So you can test different headlines, you can test different descriptions, and make sure that'll fit. Because ultimately, you don't want to spend all day reworking the same words, especially within an ad group where you might only change either this one or this one a little bit, or you're going to change just this one or this one a little bit. You don't want to have to retype it every time. You can work your variations, make sure you're within your limits here. Makes it so much easier when it comes time to actually start pushing out the actual campaign and all the ads within it. The other part I'm going to note is if you notice this right here, this is only showing this way as a temporary because I didn't put a period here. If I put a period here, it takes this description down here and it puts it right here, and then puts description 2 right above your link. Your choice. I mean, the side ad is going to be the side ad as it is, but that top ad, if you put a period here, which again counts as a character, you can have it pull up next to the headline. There's times where it is a good thing. There's times where it doesn't work. Again, you might want description 1 and 2 right next to each other. You might be making one long sentence. But, and that might change. They may change this, so always double check documentation right before. I mean, end of the year, or not end of the year, end of August 2012, it's almost September. They changed stuff. Website Optimizer a few months ago was still alive. Now it's dead. So just make sure. I mean, if it could be November, and they might change it. So please double check the rules, because as much as I want to be helpful, I don't want to tell you something if it stops working. Hopefully I'll update this if I catch it. But sometimes I don't have the time. I mean, if it's been a long time ago since I've updated a lot of these tutorials, and I get groups of time when I get to, and other times I don't. So anyway, there's that. Next, we're going to take a look at that other thing I had up, and that's the keywords. Oop, wrong one. There we go. So we're going to bring this back up. I'm going to clear it out real quick. Oops, clear. So I can draw on it fresh. Yes, I know there's no pixels. If you're wondering, I'm using Photoshop. It's what I like to use. Anyway, so you created your ad, and you've probably created some keywords when you created your ad campaign. But let's say you're just not getting what you want. So, and as you can see, I was doing Cisco, but let's use something different. Let's say you're using shoes. Well, shoes is generic. Most likely you're going to get a really poor quality score that you don't want. So let's stick away from that generic topic. Let's say you're talking about, let's say bowling shoes. Okay, now bowling shoes has can match both bowling or shoes. In this case, I would probably recommend using phrase match, because if they put men's bowling shoes, women's bowling shoes, you know, anything here or even anything here, you still match. Like for some reason, if they put bowling men's shoes, then it wouldn't match because they threw men in there, and I don't know where they would learn to type English like that. But anyway, so bowling shoes, if you have it phrased, you know, it works. But keep in mind, when it comes to exact, if I do this same bowling shoes, here's the big difference. I now can no longer put anything here or here. This only works if they type bowling shoes. Great for content relativity, but you know how often people type in the same thing across the board? Yeah, not so much. So I would highly recommend only using that if you're absolutely positive that they're going to type in what you're looking for. So anyway, kind of the basics there. You can also look over here. It kind of will give you categories based on what you're typing. Oh, yeah, this says men's bowling shoes. Yeah, add that. Click it, and it'll drag it over here for you. You know, if you use the keyword tool up at the top, you can, you know, search for, okay, that means search for volume and competitiveness, and of any given keyword. You know, you can add those directly into your campaigns as well. Same goes with your targeting tools. There's a really cool tool. I'm trying to remember. Hate to hack up exactly how it's called, but I believe, oh, what is that one? Ad Center, I think. I have so many different ones from Google that you can do regional, put in your site. This one's especially good for display network stuff, but if you want to know about sites and their demographics, who's watching, how much traffic, I mean, it's a great tool. Thumb up. So anyway, this pretty much covered a lot of stuff. I mean, you have bidding, you have everything else in here. This is kind of a small general overview of mainly display versus search. Hopefully it's been informative. Again, please send me any specifics. If you have something you want troubleshot, hey, shoot me a request. Again, I don't have all day every day to look at requests, but as long as you let me use it as a tutorial and it's kind of a micro question, I'd be happy to take a look at it, create a tutorial for you and others to use an example, and I'll never never give out your information. So you can go to cyphermarketing.com and contact us, or post a note and on here, and I'll with either your website or whatnot, or just the general request, and we'll figure out how to get in touch. So hope this has been informative for you. Thanks.